that one belief eliminated from your brain could change the course of your reality. Would you want that? It's not for everyone, only the brave. Those who want to own their life like the powerful leaders they were born to be. A pivotal moment can change everything. Now, here's the host of Crossroads to Awakening show, Wendy Paquette.
Hello everyone, and happy Monday. It is Monday, December 21st. We are at one of the pivotal days in the winter solstice where everything begins to move, and so it feels. Today we have an incredible show. It's called Stop Hiding and Make Money. So you're listening to the Crossroads to Awakening show. I'm your host, Wendy Paquette. I'm a holographic mind reprogrammer. I help humans who are stuck at a crossroads awaken to their true selves and change the world from where they stand. Because I believe as a high frequency human, how you see your life is a direct reflection of the programs that are etched into your brain, and they can be easily shifted when you see and own your truth for what it is. So if you'd like to reach out to me, find me at Crossroads to Awakening show on Facebook and send me a message. We can lean into that. But today is the episode upon episodes of Stop Hiding and Make Money. If you're an entrepreneur or a coach or even a salesperson for someone else or an enrollment captain or enrollment director, this show's for you because you get to stop hiding and make money. And it's not about the making money part. Yes, money has something to do with it, but that's what we're here on this planet functioning through is money. So when you hide, how can you make money as an entrepreneur, as a salesperson, or as someone who generates from maybe receiving tips? Now, being that we're still in the pandemic and servers are not out in the world doing their work as usual, they're one of the ones who generally make their living from tips. And most servers generate easily because they're already getting a paycheck and they're generating tips, but some just generate more than others, right? So there's a key to this. So when you hide, how can you make money as an entrepreneur or a business owner or a salesperson? And so that's the question we're going to start off. And what we're going to move through today during this episode is the question. We're going to answer the questions: what are you hiding from? And who are you hiding from? And when are you going to come out and make a difference in your own life? What's missing? What's in the gap? And you only have now. So we're going to walk through the answers to all those questions or the viewpoints of all those questions so that we can lean in, because now's the time. If not now, then when? Because really, there is no past. There is no future. There's only now. And when now gets baked into your next moment, which we call the future, you're either going to do it from a space of scarcity or you're going to do it from a space of possibility and abundance. And if you're in the genre, this show is for you if you are the generator of your own paycheck. If you're an entrepreneur, a salesperson, someone who offers a service or a product or anything, it's not just about where you place it. It's who you're being when you go out into the world in order to enroll people into what you're up to. So my apologies to those of you who this doesn't lean into as far as creating more abundance with money in a reality where you're the entrepreneur or salesperson. But this show is directly around stopping hiding and making money. Now, you can apply any other thing in this arena. You can replace making with a relationship, stop hiding and have a relationship. You can do all those things. Replace it with whatever you like. But today we're going to dive deep into the making money piece, because as we're feeling the tightness of this pandemic wrapped around our neck and how we're going to generate when they keep closing everything down on us, there are ways where you can step out into your world in a positive space in order to generate. Because let me tell you, this show is all about your brain. All the bullshit programs you hold in your brain are what's going to create your physical reality. And if you have a whole lot of programs that say it's not possible, or you can't because you're in a pandemic, or you can't because you're not showing up at work, or you can't because all your clients potentially don't have any money, and so therefore you're making up the story for them before they have a chance to say yes to you and give you money, this episode's definitely for you. Because there's something to that, and that is a program, and you've already decided what it is. And if you like to bust out of it, this is the place you want to be. So let's get started. When you hide, how can you make money as an entrepreneur? That's the number one question we're asking right in this very moment. When I say hide, ask yourself a few questions around what that means. So are you posting on social media, asking questions, inviting people in? Are you telling everyone you know about what you're up to and how you could serve them or solve their problem? Are you leaning into your email list, whether it's a personal email list or a business email list, and requesting anyone who's struggling to step forward so that you could solve with them their issues and for them? So where are you hiding? Are you doing Facebook Lives? Are you talking to people from a platform of reach? Right now, not being able to really go anywhere to any events or any actual speaking gigs, you get to be out there in the world in the digital space, which is the only space we truly have right now. What could that look like? So if you're hiding and you're not actually reaching out to people, if you're deciding that they don't have the funds to pay you, then you're already going to lose. You've already decided you may as well close up shop and actually do something else, because there isn't a space that you will fit into if you've decided that no one has the money to pay you. So you can claim that victim stance of no one having the money, or you can know that there are people out there that require your service or product or offer to solve a problem because they're just waiting to see it. And if everyone in the world thought, oh, I'm not going to put any products out there or services out there because no one can afford to pay it, we wouldn't have solutions anywhere. We'd all be super stuck. So number one thing is getting out of the mindset that you're deciding for someone else what they're capable of choosing and for the reasons that they're choosing it. Because you know as well as I do, when you want something, you will find a way to get it, to have it, or to create the money or find the money or dig into your piggy bank in order to have what you're after. So if you decided that, well, they're not going to have the money, so therefore I'm not going to put the offer out there, who do you think you're hurting in that moment? Who do you think you're supporting? That's a better question. Who do you think you're supporting? Absolutely no one, because no one's winning. This gets to be a black game where everyone gets to win. You get to put the offer out there and not be afraid of someone saying no, because someone out there is willing to say yes. You're just not giving them a chance, right? You're deciding for them ahead of time. And a win-win situation is putting it out there. That's a win. Receiving someone who is wanting your service, that's a win. And they get the solution. That's also a win. So it's like a win-win-win. I guess it's the trifecta of awesome. So where are you hiding? Where are you hiding? So if it's an entrepreneurial space, are you holding back? Are you feeling like your friends who have businesses who are struggling, you don't want to maybe step above them? Like, where's your mindset? You get to go there with yourself so you can see what's happening in your brain. The only person you're hurting is you. And here's the thing. You may be stopping yourself from doing something, and that proverbial word, I comes into play here, where you're thinking, well, I don't want to put it out there. Well, I don't want someone to be upset because I put it out there. Well, I don't want to be that person that puts my offer out there. Like, how selfish am I? See that word, I, everywhere? That's 100% what's stopping you. Because I can tell you this, your service or product isn't about you. Okay, I'm going to say that one more time. Your service, the service you offer, the product you're selling, it isn't about you. So you get to get out of your brain, out of your thoughts, out of the eyes of I in the space of when you're putting your offer out there, and remember who this is for, right? This isn't for you. This offer is about the person who requires your service, your support, your solution to their issue. It's about them. So you don't get to decide for them what's possible for them. You get to be the person who puts your offer out there on purpose, knowing that you're putting it out there for those people who are looking for a solution to their problem or a service ad, whatever that looks like. You get to put it out there for them. Not for the I in you who feels bad because your friends aren't doing well in their businesses. They're probably doing the same thing, thinking about themselves, trying to solve their own problem with the fear that someone might think something poorly of them. Meanwhile, they're in disservice to their own potential clients. So that's the number one thing. We're going to keep bringing it back to that space, because let me tell you, if you're not willing to actually put yourself out there, your product out there to solve someone else's problem, then why are you in business? You shouldn't be in business, because it's not about you. The result of your business or your service you're offering is always in service to the person you're selling it to, right? One of the side effects is that you generate money. Right? That's the other piece of it. You generate money for serving and supporting someone else. So you're not even in the equation. Your business is going to generate because it's solving a problem and it's serving in some way to humanity. So let's keep leaning into that. The second thing is, what are you actually hiding from? Are you hiding from money? Are you literally hiding from the possibility of you generating money in the time where everyone's claiming like that they're in a scarcity space? That might be what you're hearing. And it is true in a lot of spaces. And you get to be in ownership that you're delivering a service that could serve and support. I'm not saying you can't go out there and not serve people for free, because you can. That could be a part of your deliverable, is that one person buys your service, you're going to go out and help 3 more. So not only is that one person who pays you going to allow 3 others to be served because of them, you're creating a value add service where everyone gets to win. So, I mean, only you know in your genre of business what that could actually look like. And it's a win-win-win scenario. Again, that trifecta of awesome, where your client wins, you win by serving and generating, your business keeps going, and someone else wins because you're willing to go the extra mile. And call it pandemic, call it situational, call it whatever you want, but be that human that's unafraid of being in service to others, so that we can grow as a humanity. We can still be in connection. We keep getting the higher squeeze of everybody. Oh, I'm sorry, we're getting a little too close to everyone solving the pandemic issue. We've all got it now. We all wash our hands more than we ever have. We wear masks when we don't know if we're supposed to or not supposed to, because we don't know the actual scientific nature behind it. We've heard a million ways from Sunday why to wear one, what it does for us or for someone else. And we're all doing it and nothing seems to be changing. So what are the lessons here, people? Right? What are the lessons here? So what are you hiding from? Are you hiding from your own lessons? Are you hiding from your own money? Are you hiding from the money that others are willing to throw at you to solve their problems? So that's a good question to ask yourself and sit with. And we'll probably walk into this this first break coming up with that question in our heart of, what am I actually hiding from and why? Like, why am I hiding? What am I afraid of? So when I ask myself this question about the pandemic and going out into the world, I'm looking at my family and I'm thinking, man, they're terrified in their houses. And they claim with their words that they're not, but their actions are saying something 100% different. It's no different than being an entrepreneur and being afraid to make money, right? It's all how you're perceiving it. And there's underlying bits of evidence in your brain that maybe you're just not addressing. So I would say someone who's terrified, a healthy human who washes their hands and wears their mask and does all the things, who is still terrified to leave their house, what are you actually afraid of? Right? Well, my perception is they're afraid to die. That's a big, universal, multiversal human fear, is being afraid to die, right? And there's all kinds of things underneath that. So, okay, that's one of the things. But when it comes to your business, if you have a business, what are you truly afraid of by putting yourself out there right now? When people's biggest fear right now is being afraid to die, what are you then afraid of by putting yourself out there? Right? Are you afraid that you're going to die if you put it out there, if you put your service or offer out there for someone to actually be served and supported? So we get to look what's underneath that. Like, what are you hiding from? And it could very well be the opinions of others. What people might think if you're generating and you're thriving, and let alone making money during the pandemic when other people are not. Maybe you're afraid of what they might be saying. And in that moment, you're claiming the I word. You're claiming it. Well, I'm afraid of what they might say. Well, I'm afraid that they might be upset at me. I'm afraid that they might look at me different. That's that word again, I. Super, super selfish way to hold yourself back from winning in your business. Also, super selfish way of not serving others in the way that you, I'm sure, originally intended, which is why you created the business from the very beginning. So, what this is coming down to in this first part of the show is when you hide, how can you make money as an entrepreneur? And the hiding piece is more, what have you forgotten that your vision is? What have you forgotten that your vision is? Why you created your business in the beginning? Not just to generate money. We all know that that's not true. You don't start a business because you want to make money. If you do, that's why sometimes it doesn't go anywhere, because you don't have a deep seated, rooted vision towards what you'd like your business to create in the world with other humans and how it can make the world a better place. So we'll come back to that after this break. We're going to walk into it. I'm Wendy Paquette. You're listening to the Crossroads to Awakening. We're talking about hiding and making money and how those two things do not go together. So this is the Inspired Choices Network, and we get to be inspired by the choices that we're making. And today we're delivering coming out of the closet so that you as an entrepreneur can win, even during a pandemic. So let's walk into this first break.
If you could wave a magic wand and have your life be anything you wanted it to be, what would it look like? Professional dancer, CEO of a multi-million-dollar earth-conscious company, a screenwriter with top billing shows, and ultimately have the boldness to move about the world without emotional blocks standing in your way, therefore having the confidence to achieve anything you put your mind to. That's what Wendy Paquette knows is possible for you. The first step is understanding why you don't believe it too, or why you do, and yet haven't created it. Put on your possibility goggles and join Wendy now, because you're at the Crossroads to Awakening.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Crossroads to Awakening show with your host, Wendy Paquette. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. Now back to the program.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. So we were speaking into when you hide, how can you make money as an entrepreneur, right? This Stop Hiding and Make Money episode, it's potent right in this very moment, because in December, most people are spending money. Even if you're on lockdown, you're spending money because Amazon still receives orders and delivers. Most companies still receive pickup orders. The grocery stores are still open. So no one's truly limited to spending money. And people still have problems and issues that they get to solve by your service. So we leaned into, what have you forgotten that your vision is? Right? We get to lean right into what that is, because that is the core, that is the heart of what you created your business for, and why when serving others, it is so important, because that's what they're truly buying, right? They're buying your vision for the world coupled with them. So we can lean into that as well. We're going to walk through other aspects of hiding, but we're going to hold our vision in sight, and we're going to ask, like, what are you hiding from? I think I mentioned that a little earlier. Are you actually hiding from money? Are you hiding from people? Are you hiding from yourself by not putting yourself out there? And who are you hiding from? Right? That's another aspect of why you might not be making money, because you're hiding from certain people who may have opinions of you that you're afraid of, that you don't want to hear, or you're afraid of facing, when really, does that matter, right? You're looking at yourself now and claiming that space of I don't want to experience that. I don't want to talk to them about that. I don't want them to think about me in that way. And really, who are you trying to serve in that space? Who's being served? No one. No one, because it's not about them. Everyone can have an opinion about what you're up to. And the one person that pays for your service and you solve their problem, or they have a product that solves the problem they are after, or a service, they're so blissfully, joyfully grateful that you are in the marketplace for them to choose. So who really matters in that scenario? Is it the people that are naysaying your opportunity, or is it you naysaying your own opportunity? Or is it serving the person who really, really requires what you have to offer? And that offer is going to stem from your vision. So that is another space to look at. The other question I have for you is, when are you going to come out and make a difference in your own life? Because if you're not willing to be out there in the world making a difference for others with your product or service as an entrepreneur, then you get to take a hard look at what you're not creating in your own life, because it's your own life is a microcosm of everything else, right? Who you serve outside of you is the big space. What about you in your own world, in your own relationships, maybe in your own family? Where do? Because if you're willing to hide from the world, you've already chosen to hide from yourself. And that's a space that no one can change, because you are in charge of that. So where are you not reaching out to your family members? Where are you afraid that, you're going to say the wrong thing to your mom and she's going to stop talking to you, or she's going to have opinion about you that's going to cause an argument? Where are you holding back your true authentic self in order to serve your own mental masturbation of the I space, instead of, what if the one thing that you say to your mom actually opens up her heart, actually allows her to see you for who you really truly are? What if it opens up something in her that will cause the relationship between you to be mended, right? So when you hide, you're not serving anyone but yourself. And even then, like, you're not serving yourself in many, many ways. And so it can only go down from then. I'm sure you've heard the statement, where is someone holding you small? And where are you holding yourself small? Like, how many years do you think you have left on this planet? How many, even, I say years, what I'm really saying is you don't even have tomorrow. You're not guaranteed tomorrow to decide to show up. You only have now. And that brought me into another space of, if not now, then when? Because you can point it out in others. You can point it out in yourself if you're now seeing it. But if you don't take some type of committed action in order to change it, how do you expect it to change? Right? This episode, we're talking about stop hiding and make money. That is a very important topic to have, because I know myself and many, many of my friends in a space of leadership and possibility have generated more than they've ever generated during the pandemic. The only difference between maybe us, I say us, and all those people who have generated, and you, if you're listening and you've not generated everything or anything, is your mindset, is what programs that you've decided in your brain are actually true that aren't. And the only person who can change that is you. I can stand here all day and speak into all the blocks that could be in your brain, but that won't change anything unless you are willing to see something differently. And that's all you. You get to take the opportunity to see it differently in order to give yourself the open doorway to walk through into experiencing something different. It's one thing to be in your brain. It's another to actually experience it. So we can lean in from this space to look at, okay, so, you're an entrepreneur, you're out there in the world, you haven't put any offers out in months and months, and some of you almost a year. I'd say 3/4 of a year for when the pandemic first began. What are you willing to do moving forward in order to change that? What possibilities will you grant yourself by being brave and stepping into a space of uncomfortable in order to have what you want finally? Because if this doesn't change, if this scenario of this pandemic creates this separation in humans the way it is right now to be the new normal, which they're claiming, how will you ever stand out from the crowd? How will you ever be out there anyway? Right? You get to look at the reality of that. So if you only had a limited amount of time, which you do, it's right now, when are you going to choose to do so? What part of your brain do you get to overcome in order to finally take a leap? Not care what other people think about you, and be out in the world for others to hear you, see you, get to know you, and pay you for your service or product. The only thing stopping you and the only one stopping you is you. This entire episode is going to be around these simple ways of seeing your life differently so that you can. So there's a repeatable consequence to not being out there in the world, to not allowing yourself to come out of the hiding closet, the pandemic closet, and presenting yourself to the world with your big, beautiful heart on your sleeve and put your offer out there. And so we're going to circle back now to the vision, your vision. What did you create your business from the beginning to be? To serve? What was it that inspired you so deeply, would cause you to do all the work to create a business and to generate money from it? What does that look like? Like, who did you want to change? What lives did you want to change, and for what purpose? So let's begin. I'll give you an example of myself. Years and years ago, I had an affinity for green living in that we get to be really conscious of the planet that we live on, the earth that we live on, because it provides so much for us that we take for granted. Now, not all of us take it for granted, but a lot of us unconsciously do. So my big vision from the very beginning was to create a peaceful planet where we treated the earth as well as we treated each other and ourselves. So that was peace in my mind, a type of peace where, no matter where you went, no matter what human you spoke to, no matter what product or service you purchased, it all had the vision of serving the planet we live on, the people that live on it, that thrive on it. That isn't everything that I'm up to. I don't like to just hear the sound of my voice when I'm speaking. My intention is to get into the hearts and minds of other humans in order to open up that gateway of possibilities so that the planet that we live on can be experienced as a peaceful planet. In my mind, who wouldn't want that? If it's a peaceful planet, then the sense of competition is gone. There's only living together in a harmonious space of we could sell the same product, but because you and I are different, our frequency, our vibrational frequency inside of our product with our vision is also different. And your viewpoint of your vision is different than mine. So other people will gravitate to us individually because of that unique vision that we have. And if you have a vision where the planet gets to be peaceful as well, and we get to treat the earth as well as we treat each other and ourselves, we still have unique individual frequencies that people are drawn to, unique aspects to our beingness that will cause certain people to be attracted to me and certain people to not be attracted to what I'm up to. So where are you not embracing your uniqueness? The uniqueness that gets to be put into your vision and into your product or service as an entrepreneur so that you can not worry or think about what other people might think about you, but celebrate the fact that you've created that polarity. We live in a 3D reality. So if you're going to choose to live in a 3D reality, or you're going to be living in a 3D reality, then play the 3D reality game. There is laws of duality, and we can embrace them with love and look at the fact that, awesome, some people don't want what I have to sell. And I'm grateful for that, because I wouldn't want them to buy it or lean into it if they're only going to keep telling me how it doesn't work for them because they're not aligned. So I'm grateful for all of the humans that are not attracted to the work that I do. I prefer to attract all of those who are willing and open to hear the words that I deliver from source, from gratitude, from the vision of an earth conscious living in peace. And those are the people that will hear what they get to hear and create from that space, from a vision that's probably very similarly aligned. And from that space, what do you think could happen? Right? We're going to be living in a world that is created by that vision alone, in my world, right? In my world. And you get to live from that space of what you're creating in your world. So we're getting back to that vision space again. So we're walking into another break. And on this break, just consider, what is the world you'd like to live in? What way of being would you like to experience on this planet so that others could live on it with you and thrive because of you, because you're in it, because you have a business or you're an entrepreneur, because you're offering a service or a product? Imagine that. Imagine that space. And you know how powerful it is to use that beautiful creative imagination, because it is the language that creates in the world the space we get to live in. So let's walk into the break and see what's possible when we come back. It's Wendy Paquette on the Crossroads to Awakening show on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
If you could wave a magic wand and have your life be anything you wanted it to be, what would it look like? Professional dancer, CEO of a multi-million-dollar earth-conscious company, a screenwriter with top billing shows, and ultimately have the boldness to move about the world without emotional blocks standing in your way, therefore having the confidence to achieve anything you put your mind to. That's what Wendy Paquette knows is possible for you. The first step is understanding why you don't believe it too, or why you do, and yet haven't created it. Put on your possibility goggles and join Wendy now, because you're at the Crossroads to Awakening. This is the Crossroads to Awakening show with your host, Wendy Paquette. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. Now back to the program.
Okay, so what do you think that you would actually enjoy doing in this world when you're connected to your vision, right? What is that vision that you have, that you had in your heart and in your mind when you created your business, when you created the product that you're selling or the service that you're offering? Is it something that includes love? Is it something that includes peace and possibility? Like, only you know. Obviously, you're the only one to know that. And if you've forgotten, now's the perfect time to line yourself up with it. Let's get back to the basics, right? Remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing, because sometimes you get lost. Sometimes we all get lost. We get lost in the space of making money and calling it that's like entrepreneurship. And it's not. It's really not. The beautiful choice of creating a business for yourself and having employees and services and products is the ability to create from a space of leadership, and that you're the one driving the boat, right? You're driving the ship and there's other people on it. And most of them have a similar vision or something close to it, which is why they're on the boat with you. So if you've forgotten that the vision is your boat, then it is going to sink. Because it's the vision that drives the boat, and all the products and services that get created in that space of vision are how big the boat actually is, and how many segments to the boat you have, and how many floors to the boat you have. And you could literally put yourself into a dinghy, into a little teeny dinghy, and poke a hole in it on yourself and sink it when you forget why you're up to what you're up to, why your service or product will serve someone else in the only way that you know it can, because you're the driver of that ship. You've created the boat, you've created every level, you've created the luxury that it is, and you're creating the pathway that it drives. So getting into your vision is the one space that will cause you to reignite your spirit and your soul, your possibility in this world. And it will allow you to not care what other people think. Because really, truly, if someone isn't aligned, that's one thing. And that's great. We get to be grateful for that. If they're slinging mud and being judgmental, that's fine. Because slinging mud and being judgmental only comes from a space of pain. And so you get to embody your compassion and understand that that's where it's coming from. It's not coming from that you're doing something wrong. You're doing everything you get to do in order to serve the vision that began the boat's journey from the beginning. And so that's where your empowered nature, your beautiful heart and soul gets to shine through and be channeled into the world you live in, so that we all have a place to go. We all have a ship to get on. Right? Not everyone wants to drive the entrepreneurial ship. Not everyone wants to. And that's beautiful, right? We're not swimming in a sea of entrepreneurs who are battling to, put all these boats in the water. We all get to be in the position we want to be in. And some of us want to be employees, the best employees that ever lived, right? We want to have the position where we can go home at night, we can finish our jobs during the day, go home at night and sleep well because we're not driving the ship. They don't have those fears or worries or responsibilities, and they're okay with that. And you know what? We're grateful for that as well. And we have chosen the road less traveled, which is to launch a business and serve others in a different way. So we get to keep building the ship we're on. It's only built with the strength of a foundation, which are boards in the ship that are waterproof, that are new, that are tight, that are strong, that are together. They're all fitting together, glued together consciously with the power of your own vision in mind. That is the grout between the tiles. That is the glue between the wood, right? Those are all the ways the boat gets to cling together. It is the paint that goes on the outside that's waterproof and gives it color. It's all the things that make up this big, beautiful boat, and you just keep luxuriating and making it more beautiful, more luxurious, and more powerful, fueled by your vision, right? How can you have a boat out in the water filled with people on it that are either utilizing your services or supporting you as staff if you're hiding, right? Stop hiding and make money. Be that human out in the world who's willing to stand above the rest. Perhaps the equality in nature that you're creating for others is what we've all been waiting for, right? In that space, I'm saying yes, I'm jumping in. I'm glad someone else is driving that boat, and I'd be happy to support it. And so how many people are out there that you're not letting be a part of support because you're too busy hiding from yourself, from the money that you get to generate as an entrepreneur, from the opinions of others, which really have no business being in your mental framework. So stop hiding and make money, right? Let's lean back into your vision itself. So when you took the moment, if you did, to lean into your vision, did you realize that you had forgotten to look there before? Did that thought come to your mind like, oh goodness, I haven't thought about my vision, geez, maybe since the day I decided I wanted a business or even started one? Perhaps you lost sight of your vision right out of the gate, right? I find some humans really, they get into the space of not generating in their business because they've already, once they started launching products and adding price tags to it, forgot what their vision was from the very beginning. They started looking at it from the lens of money, only money. What are they making? How much are they going to make? How much more are they going to generate? How big is their bank account? What are they going to buy next? And they forgot what their vision was, right? You can only fuel the boat when you're in joyful connection with your vision, because that's what drives it. That is the fuel. So you could be spinning in circles, not going anywhere, hitting other boats along the way, because you're not actually driving with the fuel of your vision. You're driving from a space of like mental masturbation, and then it's all about money. And there are billionaires, millionaires, and whatever else there is, I don't give it a number, in the world that they have never lost sight of that. And if they have, they're sitting in a space right now where they're forgetting why they're doing what they're doing, and they're considering not doing it anymore. It's an interesting space to be in. If you think those people don't exist and they don't go through that in their mind, you're sorely mistaken, because every human is born equal in their skin. Every human's born with skin and blood. Every human is born with a soul. And right out of the gate, based on choices and experiences and everything else that you've experienced in your life, is where we're headed, which means you still have choice. You still have the ability to get where you want to go. Perhaps you just get to begin again today, new moment. And if you heard the show from last week, it's new moment, people. Yes, we get to start over today, thankfully. So what would it look like if you got in touch with your vision again? Now you get to look at what you're putting out in the world. Is it in alignment with who you be and with what your vision is, so that those who are looking at purchasing your product feel the sense of alignment, or are they feeling like something's off and therefore pass it by? Imagine that. You have this incredible service or product out in the world and no one's buying it and you're wondering why. What if other people in this moment in time, or in coming to the end of 2020, they're far more in touch with alignment than they give themselves credit for, far more intuitive than they will even allow themselves to know, which means that when they go to desire a product and it lands in front of them, if they're not feeling called to purchase your product, what do you think they're experiencing? Curiosity? I don't know. That looks like what I want, but I don't know why I'm not actually going to pay for it. Is it that? Or is it because your product isn't in alignment with you and your vision and your dream? That's the piece you get to look at. Where have you created your business and forgot to include your vision? Or where did you get sidetracked and created a side product that has nothing to do with your vision at all? And you've put so much time and energy and effort into it. Maybe you've put Facebook ads out there. Maybe you've put it out to the world and no one's buying it. You keep looking at yourself going, what's wrong with you? Well, what if you stopped looking at what's wrong with you and just asked that product or service, asked it and your vision to look at each other and go, are we in alignment? Does this fuel my joy and vision in creating a world where we live on an earth that we treat with as much respect and love and dignity and care as we do ourselves and our fellow humans? If not, if the product is not in alignment, you create it from the space of just wanting to generate money, you know the answer. Bingo. It's not in alignment. The only thing you can do is get rid of it. Just put it away because it's not going to work. Our intuitive nature is to experience alignment. That's our intuitive nature in everything we're doing. Why do you think we were gifted as humans with emotions? Alignment is everything, and your emotions will tell you so. So here's the thing. If a product or service isn't working, you get to give yourself permission to put it aside. Then you get to give yourself permission to look at your vision and create from that space. Now, you may have a product that once worked that you haven't actually, put out into the world for a really long time. That product most certainly could have the possibility of having your vision baked right in. That's why it worked from the beginning. Or you get to tweak and shift it so that it does. And then if you don't believe me, you don't have to believe a word I say. In fact, don't. Experience it for yourself. Look at your products and services and see what's there. And ask yourself, is this in alignment with my big vision? And listen, if you haven't got connected to your big vision yet, you get to take the time to do that because that's what creates, that's the boat, right? If you're swimming alongside your boat, how many people you think are going to swim with you? Are they going to want to jump in the boat? So get on your vision boat, get in it and recreate and redream into the world that you'd like to see. Then look at your products and see where the alignment is and isn't. And then go from that space. Go, okay, I'm going to get back in alignment with my vision and with my products. And if they're not fully in alignment, maybe you've changed over the years, which is entirely possible. If you have, then retweak and retool your product or service so that it is in alignment, so that you can put it out into the world with a new, fresh energy and watch what happens then. Because when you're speaking from alignment to your true self, your soul, your reason for creating and being in creation mode, they will experience the alignment that you experience with your product as well. So instead of looking at it going, I think that's what I want, they'll go, yes, yes. And I'm going to put my money where my mouth is because that's what I want. I want that problem solved. This is my problem. That's the solution. I know that it is. I don't know how I know. I just know that it is. That's the intuitive nature of every human spending money, right? There could be a space where they're not in alignment with that. And most certainly, humans on the planet are born with an innate ability to feel and experience alignment. They may call it something else. It doesn't matter. They're going to feel it and know it. It's like being presented two different products. One looks fancy and beautiful and the other one looks, not bad, but you can feel something about the not bad one that feels far more in alignment to you. And they could both be costing the same. One just looks better, but there's no substance in it. There's no alignment in it. And so your curiosity will be around, well, I wonder why that one doesn't feel right. So let's lean into that as we go into the last break, and you get to lean into your vision. It's the number one thing that fuels everything in your world. right down to your relationships. We're only speaking into, if you are an entrepreneur right now, into hiding and making money, and you can apply it to anything, any relationship you have, anywhere you're headed. So lean into your vision and let's see what's truly possible. Let's go into break and see what happens on the other side.
If you could wave a magic wand and have your life be anything you wanted it to be, what would it look like? Professional dancer, CEO of a multi-million-dollar earth-conscious company, a screenwriter with top billing shows, and ultimately have the boldness to move about the world without emotional blocks standing in your way, therefore having the confidence to achieve anything you put your mind to. That's what Wendy Paquette knows is possible for you. The first step is understanding why you don't believe it too, or why you do, and yet haven't created it. Put on your possibility goggles and join Wendy now, because you're at the Crossroads to Awakening. This is the Crossroads to Awakening show with your host, Wendy Paquette. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. Now back to the program.
Okay, so we're just going to go through and we're going to summarize all the awesome things we went through today so that if you just happen to jump in now or you happen to, fast forward to the end, here's what you get to know. The episode is Stop Hiding and Making Money, and I'm speaking into entrepreneurial nature. Those of us who've chosen to be the brave leader on our ship, create a ship and make it solid and make it beautiful, make it luxurious, and then invite other humans to play on it and in it, whether they're being support as an employee or whether they're being the receiver, a purchaser of the product or service that you're offering out there, in which case all of them matter. All pieces of that matter. And it comes right down to your vision. The vision is the boat, right? We're speaking into when you hide, how can you make money as an entrepreneur? That's like when you put your boat into the water, you deliberately put a hole in the bottom and you watch it sink and go, how come nobody is on my boat? It's kind of not a place anyone, I don't think, would want to be. The second question is, what are you hiding from? Like, are you hiding from the money that's available out there to you? I don't know how many billions of people on the planet and your product gets to serve someone. So who are you hiding from? Or what are you hiding from, I should say? And the other is, who are you hiding from? The people that are waiting for your service in order to solve their problem or enhance what they have going on so far? And when are you going to come out and make a difference in your own life? Like, what's missing? What's missing in your own life that if you were giving yourself an opportunity to see the gap from where you are right now to where you want to be, if you just give yourself the opportunity to see that gap, you would gift yourself the steps to your own success, right? Begin with your vision. Where am I at right now? So, okay, let's start from the very beginning. Begin with where you're at right now. Remember whether you're attaching yourself to your vision or living into your vision or not, but be that space where you are now and where you want to be or where you would like to be. I mean, ultimately right now, right? Because where you're headed has no defined timeline. You can put it as a timeline and map it out, but truly, we really only have right now. So wherever you are in your business right now and where you'd like to be right now, there's a gap there. So what's in the gap? What's missing here? And once you have that, keep going with what else? What else is missing? What would I really like to see here? And what am I pretending not to know about where I'm headed? Maybe you really don't even want to get there. Maybe you've been fooling yourself all along and you've been saying what other people are expecting you to say. And you haven't even given yourself a chance to be honest with yourself about that. And so you keep beating yourself into the ground and keep allowing others to see that something's not working, or you to look in the mirror and feel like a failure. And really, you haven't even made a conscious choice to win. So that's a very powerful place to be, where you are now and where you'd like to be now. It's all happening right now. And the steps in between, they could be tactical steps, practical steps, way of being steps, connection steps. Maybe it's tidying up your courses, your product, or your services. Maybe it's finding the alignment and then going from there. There are so many things that you could look into right now, right in this very moment, that you could choose to give yourself the gift of being in alignment with your vision and actually going and getting what you're after, which is generating a beautiful living so that you could support your family and live luxuriously in your life right now, despite the things that are going on around us. If we all lived from that space, do you really feel that we would decide to live in fear? If we all supported each other in seeing things differently, if we all got into alignment with how we could communicate that didn't have us sensationalized by the media and paralyzed by the media based on what they decide to say, wouldn't the world be a beautiful place no matter what was going on? I'm sure that it would. And I'm going to create that in my reality no matter what. Stand in the vision that the world, and this is my vision, and lean into yours, and yours can be mine as well. I am open to have like everyone having the similar vision. And if not, I'm open to that as well. But my vision is to live in a world where we treat the planet like a family member, with love and respect and care, and be in gratitude for it and all the humans that reside upon it, rely upon it, and rely on each other, so that the world can be a beautiful, joyful, peaceful place to live. And we can all be in service to each other from that space. We all carry uniqueness, a frequency that's different from one another. And that is on purpose. That is a soul's journey that's far beyond the things that are in front of us right now. How we show up in our world matters. It matters in every now, in every moment. How we show up matters. If there's anything that you get to take with you today, it's how we show up is what makes the difference. Because all the rest of those things have no value whatsoever if you're not willing to show up for yourself, for your soul in this moment and in this now. Because the now is what we create from. So showing up in this moment, in this now, in your full heart-centered space, desiring the world that your vision will create is what will change the world. And MLK had 8 humans supporting with him in his stand who changed the world from where they stood. Imagine that. Imagine that. So as we come to the end of the show, it's an inspiring place to be, to know that each and every one of you has a vision of what the world gets to be and be experienced as, because you're in it. You matter. Your message matters. And if you're listening to this and you're an entrepreneur, your presence in your boat with this vision, your service, your products, they matter also, because if they're a reflection of you and your big, beautiful heart and your vision for what this world could be, it is so imperative that you be that now, today. So get yourself into your own alignment with your vision. And then follow through on everything in your business and what that could look like. And that includes employees, people who do work for you, a service for you. They get to be in alignment with your vision as well. And create from that space so this world gets to be exactly how we see it. Full of love, joy, possibility, care. We get to have that moving forward. Because if we don't, then who? And if not now, then when? This has been a super inspiring show for me to stop hiding and make money, because it has nothing to do with actually making money. It has nothing to do with who you be and that you're right or wrong or good or bad. It's that how you play the game of life with your vision, how you show up in this world matters. I know it, and deep down, you know it too. So thank you so much for being present with me on this show today, and all of us who are supporting it. Thank you, Christine, for supporting me for everything we're creating on this planet via this show. I look forward to all the shows coming up. Be you, be here now, and fill this world with more of you. because we all get to experience it. Thank you so much, and we will see you next week. Woo!
Thank you for choosing to listen to the Crossroads to Awakening radio show. Wendy Paquette will return next Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We look forward to you joining us again. Until then, enjoy your journey, and we'll meet you at the crossroads.